guys? How y'all doing? This is Daryl with Lee's Lawn Care and Services. How y'all doing on this? This is what? Wednesday morning. How y'all doing? Hope you guys having a great day, a great season thus far. I guess you could say we're coming to the tail end of it because it's September. We got October, and in November it kind of slows down. So we're coming to the tail end of the season, man, and I tell you, boy, it's been brutal. This heat and everything else has been brutal. Hopefully the weather changes this month. Where we get that fall type weather where it's nice, where it's good cutting weather and not extremely overheated weather that we've been getting. Yeah, guys, just checking on you. We had a death in the family last weekend, so we got a funeral to go to. Saturday. It's gonna be Saturday. So unfortunately we'll be there for that. But other than that, man, everything else has been great. Business has been, of course, you guys know, it's been booming. I'll be getting another piece of equipment next season, another ride more. So I'm sure you're gonna be along for the ride of that. Kind of looking forward to it. But the business is growing, man. We're going in the right direction. Doing everything we can to maintain everything, and we're just growing. I'm still picking up yards. You guys still picking up yards, man? People are still like trying to give us business. Man. This is insane, you know. And I've been passing it off to this friend of mine. And he's been taking some of the jobs, but what the deal is with him, I mean, people run their business however they choose to run their business. It's fine with me. Stop it, guy. So people run their business the way they want to run their business is quite fine, you know, for whatever individual, however they run it. And all of us have opinions about how people run their business, and if they run it that way, so be it. It is what it is. So, but this friend of mine, I had a talk with him, and he was, he had did a job that I had gave him. He made $150 off the job, so he made good money off of it. And it was only a couple hours worth of work of just knocking down this half a forest. It was just one section. So he was able to do that, and he got paid for it. So it was another job that I told him meet me at this other job where I had to drop off my invoices to this company that I do work for. So I went over there, and he was like, "Oh, you want me to cut that?" And then I told him, I said, "Nah." I said, they're not going to pay what you're going to ask them, because in his mind, he think one price, or that price for doing certain type of jobs is a fit for it. But in some cases it is, and in some cases it's not. Like if it's something that's been lingering for a while, then I can see that. But if it's something that's like a routinely maintained thing where you just going in for, because it's every other week or something like that, you go in and you maintain the area, and that's that. And he thinks it should be a certain price, like a high price for that. And I told him, I said, man, everything is not that price that you coming up with. Now I understand that's your price, but you're gonna price yourself out of a lot of work versus pricing yourself in a lot of work. So I'll give you a little backstory on it. He only has 10 yards, and I try to get him more business. I've been sending him a lot of business, and some of the people haven't been responding to him. So, and some people have, but they haven't taken him because his prices are too excessive. And I had to talk with him about that. I said, dude, you're charging too much. I said, you want to build business, you have to give a little, and then once you get to a certain point, then you can kind of leverage out, because you have the clientele to sustain you. You got days where you calling me for work because you don't have anything else to do. Well, how you run your business and how you handle your business is going to determine what type of customer you're going to have and how many customers you're going to have. If you're trying to build a business, you got to give a little, and then once you establish yourself as having, legitimate clients, then you can kind of, raise your prices on them, or, you can do some things where, it might not affect you as much, or affect them as much, put it that way. So, but like I said, I talk, see, you wonder why you looking for work. I said, you gotta handle things a certain way, from the beginning, and then once you do that, then you can kind of venture out a little bit and do some other things. So, I mean, I've been in business for years, and it took a long time to get to where the point I'm getting to. It just didn't happen overnight. You might have seen some things manifest, throughout my journey, but it didn't happen overnight. It took a while. For years, I only had push mowers and, there's just a base of stuff. But, it took a while to develop all that. All of that just didn't happen. It don't work that way, unless you win the lottery or something like that. But yeah, so I had to kind of talk to him a little bit, and and it's about doing the right thing too. Now I didn't tell him that, but I was thinking to myself, you got to do the right thing. You can't go in trying to gouge people, and you want to keep a steady stream of business, then you have to be reasonable. You can't be unreasonable, because if you are, the customer's going to get somebody else. If you're unreasonable, they're going to find somebody that's reasonable. And you got to think, a lot of people don't have a lot of money like that these days. They have money, but they're very, very strict about how they spend their money. So you got to think about that. During this time where sometimes it's tough to do some things, you have to be reasonable, and I don't think he considers that. It's like, and like I said, you wonder why you don't keep steady business. Well, you got to change your model. You got to change your mindset. And his mindset is, them one-time or two-time opportunities. Those things, they don't last forever. Yeah, you get them every now and then. I mean, I cut down a tree, I made $200. I got another tree job I got to do. It's gonna be another $200. But that can't sustain you. You can't make a living off of just doing shots like that, because you're not gonna get them all. You're not gonna get those opportunities all the time like that. It's just not. You'll get it every now and then, but it's not gonna be something that's gonna be, long term. And you in this, and we in the game for the long term. We're not in it for the short term. And I think that's why he's not as successful as he could be, because he's not thinking from that standpoint. And only a savvy, veteran type business person would understand that. That's how I look at it. And I try to explain some of that to him, and he's not comprehending it very well. But his business is dictating why he's not having the success that he wants to have. So it is what it is. So like I say, you can't teach. You can teach some stuff, and it's up to people to either take it or not take it. But he sees all the things that I get and all the things that I'm having, and he's trying to figure out, I guess in his mind, how we doing what we're doing. And how we do that is because of the way the business model is set up. My business strategy is set up totally different from him, and he tries to figure out how I get all these opportunities. Well, I mean, and also with us, I wanted to talk about right quick was, like, people see the quality of work that we do. Me and my son, I train them. So they see that. And so they come to me and they ask me, and they want me to quote them for a job, because they're expecting that same type of consistency and service, right? So I tell them, hey, I'm booked. I can't do it. You know, this, that, and the third. But I have somebody else who may be interested in it. And so what I do, I pass it off to him, and then he calls the people or tries to communicate with people, and they don't even return his calls and and all this other stuff. Because he said, man, the people you gave me, they didn't even return my calls. They didn't even talk to me. I'm like, wow, really? I said they were so interested when I talked to him, and I explained to him that, hey, we booked. I just don't have the time to take care of whatever that is, but I have somebody else who may be interested who can help you out with it. And so I'll pass the number along to him, and he tells me he calls them, and then he doesn't hear from them, and they don't call him back, and no response and stuff like that. So I don't know. People may be specifically just looking for me to do the work because people go with people that they trust, and a lot of the clientele I have, I've been having them for years. And even some new clientele that I get, they've come to me from old clientele that I have, and they know, like, my old clientele is something, hey, he's full. I don't think he's taking anybody else, but you can call him and ask him, and see what what he's doing. And so when I refer them to him, and he claim he's not getting the calls or anything, well, like I say, man, you got to do the right thing, and that's just the nuts and bolts of the thing. You got to do the right thing, man. You got to take care of your customer. You got to be there to help your customer when they call you, if you can. You just be honest with your customers, and you don't rake your customers over the coal with price gouging. You don't do that, because customers can see when you're trying to price gouge them on something versus, okay, that's a reasonable price for something. So, all right, guys, that was just my little talk today about that, man. But man, it's just, it is what it is. Like I said, business success depends upon how you treat your people and how you handle your business, and are you being reasonable with them or unreasonable. So take that into consideration when we're doing these jobs. Like I say, you only can help people so far, and that's on them. All right, guys, I gotta go run in Walmart, get some ice so I can get out of here. Catch you on the next one. Peace.